Good afternoon. Welcome back to Very Good Life. My name's Todd, and this is the first time I've seen sun in 3 days. Got a bit of a cold, probably from not wearing a mask, working up the ground in the other high tunnel. I guess it was this one, actually. But today we're out here getting ready, doing one task to get ready to start planting, hopefully tomorrow. And that task is to burn all the holes in one row before we start planting. And what I'd like to do is be ahead of the planters and be able to burn the holes, and then the next step, run the drip tape before they plant the plants. That way we don't have to disturb them and take time to do that. So if I get one row done today, then I can be one row ahead of them all the time. So I'll kind of show you what I have to do here in the layout, and when I get that done, then we'll actually start pulling some new drip tape into the raspberries and get that buttoned up, and just one thing at a time try to get things done so we can leave this one just to grow. So let's get busy. This is our template for strawberries in a high tunnel. Now when we started, we actually only put 2 strawberries per planted foot, and when we actually started was high tunnel A, and that was 5 years ago. They worked well for us. Only problem with putting 2 per planted foot is when you started doing the math, it just wasn't worth it. Very expensive real estate inside of a high tunnel, and you know the old adage, figures don't lie, but liars can figure. In the off season, you can say those plants will produce any number of pounds of berries you want to, but until you get the figures from past history, you don't really know. So I know now roughly what they'll give you in a year's time, and now we can start changing our method and what we irrigate with, how often we irrigate, and we're always trying to boost the number of pounds per plant. So after we did 2 per foot, I said, well, you know, maybe we can go 3. I really felt we could even go more than that. So in high tunnel B, you watched us take out the white on black plastic mulch, and those were 3 per linear foot, planted foot, and that worked out well. Plants were reasonably healthy, no problems with that, and no problem with that, but I still felt that I wanted to go more. So in this method, we're doing 4. The space between each hole is approximately 11 inches on center, and in every planted foot, we're getting 4 plants. And this operation, we put it over the fabric, white on black fabric, and the next step is obviously what we're going to do is burn the holes. And the reason we don't put the irrigation underneath it before this is law averages. I'm going to burn my drip tape. And I'm real lucky if I can keep from catching the ground cover on fire. And we'll come over here. We'll get this one. And we'll just continue and do the whole row. We got Jess pulling the second row right now. You can see you just put it in there. Once it's got water in it, it will drop down. Well, it looks easy till you do 100 foot.
Easier when you're closer to the ground.
Oh yeah, you got me beat there. Now this irrigation system won't be active probably till the 1st of April. There's still water just under the surface because everything is standing water outside, and this is the only place water can actually go to get down and meet up with the groundwater. So and at the end, Jess has got a special connector. And I think we buy those at Drip Depot, don't we, Jess?
No, I had it right actually.
Did you?
I did.
That's right there that time.
Yeah, I had it right the first time.
Okay, that was my fault. Well, it don't look pretty, but it'll be all right. All right, now you can. Oh, we gotta go to the other side yet. Got a whole nother side to do. Okay, that only took us a matter of 60 seconds or so to run 4 lines into the raspberries. Kind of looks like ribbon hanging there, don't it? But I wanted to stop and take a moment to explain this new drip tape that we have. It is called pressure compensating, and at 3 psi it turns off and it will not leak. The reason I had to buy that is our high tunnels are actually 18 inches lower at the far end than up here. So what happens is the irrigation turns off and all the water drains down to the end, oversaturating the end. So this pressure compensating drip tape is supposed to take care of hilly terrain. Now it's 15 mil, which is something that will last multi-year. In fact, it'll last easy 3 years. It's not guaranteed not to be chewed on by moles or mice or anything like that. You still have to be observant, but it is thicker and will stand up to an awful lot of abuse. But that's the first year for pressure compensating, and we're going to give it a go. It's probably 20 cents a foot, but it'll be worth it if it works. Now there's a lot of people out there that would tell you just to put the drip tape on top of this woven fabric. It'll work fine. And I would automatically tell you it would. It would work really fine. In fact, I've done it that way many times. That way you can see how the irrigation's working. If there's a hole in it, you can fix it. For those reasons, I would advise to do it. Unless you're planting strawberries. And strawberries, just because the way God made them, one way that they reproduce is with runners. And if those runners come in contact with water or soil, they immediately shoot roots. So last year we had overabundant root balls on top of the woven fabric. Yeah, some of them even made strawberries. But that's really not what we're going for. We're going for a little bit more controlled growth. We want to make that decision on where they're going to root. So anyway, this is pressure compensated, and it is going underneath this year the woven fabric. Let's try it. Well, got that all done. I think we're ready for tomorrow. We stapled every 12 foot, as you can see. All the holes are burnt in 132 foot row. And tomorrow we'll be using that drill with a auger on it. We'll bore the holes and pull the plants in. You know, if you watch the videos that we've done and all the work in here since we started, it would probably make you think this guy's crazy, but I'm telling you, it will pay off, because after we get done planting, all we do is pick for a year. And then next year, all this stays. We will have to cut down and trim the raspberries. We'll mow down and clean off these, but that takes an hour a row. And goes right into growing season again. We don't have to plant. Contrary to what everybody tells you, we push our day neutrals for 3 years. Now, they're not the same plant after 3 years. They're obviously a daughter plant, or sister, but as long as we keep the runners going into the empty holes, they will produce and reproduce and reproduce until acted upon an auxiliary force, which is usually me. I can kill them. I mean, that's not a problem. So this is Todd Brown, Brown Farms. It's a very good life. See you tomorrow.